Hey folks, we are Kirk and Nikki from Kirnix Creations.
Hello.
And we were invited by Craft Resin to try out their new tabletop epoxy.
We were.
And of course we said yes.
Of course.
We'd be delighted.
Yeah.
So I thought I would have a go at seeing what it was like top coating a tray. Because we've used Craft Resin for about 2 years now.
Yeah, it's the standard one-to-one we've used.
Yeah.
So we've not used the tabletop.
No. So I thought I'd have a go at doing just a simple crackle tray. So I used the Craft Resin 1-to-1 standard epoxy and just added some blue, gold and light blue mica powders, and then added it into the one tub for a puddle pour.
Cool.
And didn't really plan my pour very well because I left a bit of a gap in the middle.
A little bit.
Now I was quite hopeful that the resin would draw into the centre and close that gap up, but sadly
no. Resin does what resin does.
Resin does what resin does. So I am not a fan of putting stones in the centre of pieces. It's a personal aesthetic choice of mine, but I thought, well,
you got to put something in there.
I've got to put something there, so I'll try that. And then once that was cured, I just gave it a very quick, simple back coat of a lustrous blue.
Yeah.
So this is 24 hours later, and I did the demold. And as you can see, I moved it on my desk and spilt a little bit out of the mould.
A little bit.
As you do. I mean, there's even a video of ours if everything goes 100% correct.
No. No, it's not.
Probably not.
No.
So it's a really simple fix if you do have a mould that just sort of goes over a little bit. All you do is you can take either a cutter or
some pliers, or some snips.
Some snips. I use snips and then I just sand it down.
Sand the edge.
And because that one wasn't as perfect as I would have liked, I did another one. Just to be sure. And that one was all right. And that one turned out pretty perfect.
I like that one.
I
like the other one, but I like that one better.
Yeah, I like them both, but for different reasons. So I do like that one.
I like the centre is closed up so that it all looks one piece. I do like the other one, but I'm not sure about the clear in the middle.
I thought about it, and then I decided I really don't like that hole in the centre. So I dug out one of my UV DTF Phoenix stickers.
Yeah.
And I just popped that over it because I thought that probably fits quite well. And because it's a personal piece for me in our home, I wasn't too worried about it.
It hides your sins.
It hid my sin. So I like to use latex on the back of my pieces when I'm adding a top coat.
Yep.
And I just brush it on with my finger. Once that was done and it was dry, it was time to dig out the tabletop.
Hey.
So this is really important, is you must mix this in equal volumes, 1-to-1, part A and part B, but it must be by volume and not weight.
Yep.
And that's because part
A
is a lot heavier.
It's a lot thicker.
And it's a lot thicker.
As you can see from there.
Yeah.
Just about.
You can just about see from there that as it pours in, it's a lot thicker. It's a really thick.
Yeah, and if you put part B in first and then pour part A, because part A is a lot denser, it will sink into the part B.
And start the mixing process straight,
and just make mixing just a little bit easier.
Yeah. So once you've mixed, got your volumes in the cup, you stir it really well for 3 to 5 minutes. Now, you need to make sure that you scrape the sides of the mixture pot and the bottom and give it a really good mix, because if you don't stir it properly and mix it thoroughly, you will potentially end up with a sticky resin that will never cure.
Yeah, because you'll have a bit of uncured resin on the sides, and then when you pour it, you may also get streaks. Yeah,
and the very last thing that you want is to do a top coat on a piece that you finished and find that it never cures, or it looks unsightly. So it's really important to make sure that you mix it properly.
Yep.
Once you've done that, it's as simple as pouring it onto the piece.
Gently.
But gently. But gently. Now, the maximum depth that you can pour this is 3 millimeters.
Yep.
And the ideal depth for a top coat is 2 millimeters.
It is.
I have never measured the depth of my top coat, though. I have to be honest. It's. I guess it.
This was a guesstimate.
I guesstimate that it's a 2 millimeter layer.
Okay.
If I'm honest. Now, I have to say, when I was using it, I thought it went on really, really, really smoothly.
So you normally, when you do a top coat, you use Craft Resin's 1:1.
I use the standard 1:1 epoxy. Yeah.
Yeah, which is quite.
It's a medium viscosity.
Yeah.
So it is quite runny.
Yes, and unforgiving.
Yeah. If you get it slightly too far to the edge,
Yeah.
it will just
Run
go
away.
over and do its thing.
Yeah.
But this was a lot more forgiving.
It's a lot thicker to go on, isn't it? So
it's a lot thicker to go on, and it's a lot easier to spread.
Yeah.
Now, ideally, once you've done your top coat layer,
Yep.
you would use a heat torch
Yep.
to
get rid of the bubbles.
yeah.
But don't put the torch onto the resin. All you need to do is heat the air above it so that it pops the bubbles.
I'm sure I read that it's supposed to be no closer than about 12 centimeters.
Yeah, you're supposed to heat the air above it.
Yeah.
Not actually have the flame touching the resin.
You heat the air above it. Yeah.
Above it.
And whatever you do when you're doing a top coat, do not spray it with alcohol.
Isopropyl.
Do not spray it with isopropyl alcohol, because essentially what you're doing is you're creating a top layer, and that it's the tension of that layer
Yep.
that keeps it as the top coat.
Yep.
And if you spray isopropyl alcohol on,
It breaks the
it
tension.
breaks the tension, the surface layer tension,
Yep.
and will force it over the edges. So a torch is what you would use in these circumstances. Now, I deliberately did not use a torch on either of these trays.
Yeah,
because
and that had a lot of bubbles in it as well.
It was really bubbly, and that was because it's the first time I've used it. They're personal, they're for me, and I wanted to see how it degasses, because we've used the deep pour and the 1:1.
Yeah.
And they degas absolutely fantastically. I mean, we've got a pressure pot, and I rarely use it.
Yep.
Because of how well it degasses.
Yeah.
So I was very curious to see how this does, and I was really pleasantly surprised. Now, resin itself is touch dry, touch cured in 24 hours.
Yep.
And it is fully cured in 36 hours.
Yep.
But if you want to wait for the full protection, it is actually 21 days, the same as all the other resins.
That's where it's heat resistant,
scratch resistant,
yep. And incidental food.
Yep. Yep.
Which means that the 3-second rule
3-second rule applies, yeah.
So you're good there. And this is the finished.
This is the finished piece, and I have to say I was stunned. I genuinely did not think it would be much different to how it looks, the standard 1:1 looks.
I noticed the difference.
But it is a glass-like finish.
Yeah.
And
not a bubble inside.
No, not a single bubble. And going forward, every single thing that I top coat from now on will be using this resin.
Yep.
So I would just like to say thank you so much to Craft Resin for giving us the opportunity to try this out.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly recommend that you give it a go, because it's,
definitely, yeah. I mean, I don't do a lot of top coats. The ones I have done with this is perfect.
Yeah, I do a lot of top coats, and I will be using this from now on.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. And if you've found this useful or informative, why not give it a thumbs up as well?
Indeed. And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye for now.
Bye for now.